Ronaldo de Assis Moreira was born in a simple wooden house in a favela in Porto Alegre, Brazil. He was known to everyone as Ronaldinho. From a very young age, football was not just a game, it was his entire world, his language, his greatest joy. His father, João, was a former amateur footballer who worked as a shipyard welder and a car park attendant at Grêmio's stadium. He saw the special spark in his youngest son. He would tell him, "Play with freedom, play with the ball at your feet, be creative." These words became the foundation of Ronaldinho's footballing philosophy, a creed he would carry with him from the dusty streets of his neighborhood to the grandest stadiums in the world. His first real teacher was the game of futsal, the fast-paced, small-sided version of football played on a hard court. Futsal demanded incredible ball control, quick thinking, and improvisation. It was here that Ronaldinho developed his signature moves, the feints, the no-look passes, and the incredible dribbling skills that would later mesmerize the world. The small space forced him to be inventive, to find solutions that others couldn't see. He learned to make the ball an extension of his body, a loyal friend that would dance to his command. His older brother, Roberto Assis, was also a professional footballer, a rising star at Grêmio, and served as both a hero and a mentor to the young Ronaldinho. Tragedy struck the family when Ronaldinho was just 8 years old. His father suffered a fatal heart attack in the family's swimming pool, a gift they had received from Grêmio in recognition of Roberto's talent. This devastating loss shaped Ronaldinho profoundly. Football became his escape, his therapy, and his way of honoring his father's memory. He poured all his energy and emotion into the game, playing for hours on end with his dog, Bom Bom, in the backyard. He practiced relentlessly, not out of a sense of duty, but out of a deep, burning passion. Every trick, every goal was a tribute to the man who first believed in him. This period of his life was crucial in forming the player he would become. He was not trained in a rigid, structured academy system from the very beginning. Instead, his skills were forged in the creative chaos of street football and the technical demands of futsal. This gave him a unique style, a blend of raw, joyful expression and sophisticated technique. He played with a smile on his face, a reflection of the happiness the game brought him. He was a pure artist, and the football pitch was his canvas. The world did not yet know his name, but in the streets of Porto Alegre, a legend was already taking shape, one joyful dribble at a time. By the time he was a teenager, Ronaldinho was already a local phenomenon in Porto Alegre. He had joined the Grêmio Youth Academy, the same club where his brother had made his name. His talent was so obvious, so overwhelming, that he seemed to play a different game from everyone else on the pitch. Coaches were in awe of his ability, but they also sometimes struggled with his style. He was unpredictable, a free spirit who refused to be confined by tactical instructions. He saw possibilities no one else could imagine, attempting audacious moves that often left his own teammates as surprised as the opposition. He was not just playing to win, he was playing to create magic. His professional debut for Grêmio came in 1998, and it did not take long for him to capture the hearts of the fans. They saw in him a reflection of the Brazilian ideal of futebolate, the beautiful game. He played with a swagger and a joy that was infectious. His first senior goal was a work of art, a glimpse of the genius that was about to be unleashed. The supporters at the Estadio Olímpico Monumental knew they were witnessing something special. Here was a local boy, one of their own, who played with the soul of a street footballer and the skill of a world-class virtuoso. He was a hurricane of talent, and he was just getting started. The moment that truly announced his arrival on the national stage came in the 1999 Rio Grande do Sul State Championship final against Grêmio's bitter rivals, International. A 19-year-old Ronaldinho put in a performance for the ages. He was simply unstoppable. He scored a crucial goal, but it was his overall play that left a lasting mark. He famously humiliated the veteran Brazilian captain Dunga with a series of breathtaking dribbles, including an audacious sombrero flick over the World Cup winner's head. It was a symbolic moment. The new generation, creative and fearless, literally rising above the old guard. Grêmio won the title, and Ronaldinho was crowned the hero. His performances for Grêmio quickly attracted the attention of major European clubs. Scouts flocked to Brazil to watch this incredible prodigy with the long flowing hair and the permanent grin. He was a force of nature, scoring 23 goals in 48 matches in the 2000 season. But his time at his boyhood club would end in controversy. In 2001, he signed a pre-contract agreement with French club Paris Saint-Germain, leaving Grêmio on a free transfer. The fans who had once adored him felt betrayed, viewing him as a mercenary. It was a bitter end to a beautiful chapter, but for Ronaldinho, it was a necessary step towards conquering the world. Arriving in Paris in 2001 was a significant cultural shift for Ronaldinho. He moved from the familiar warmth of Porto Alegre to a major European capital, a city known for its art, fashion, and sophisticated lifestyle. There were challenges. His manager at Paris Saint-Germain, Luis Fernandez, was a strict disciplinarian who was often frustrated by Ronaldinho's more relaxed Brazilian approach to life and training. Fernandez complained about his nightlife and his focus, wanting him to be more of a professional athlete and less of a free spirit. This clash of cultures created tension, and Ronaldinho often found himself on the substitutes bench in his first season. Despite the off-field difficulties, his brilliance on the pitch was undeniable and could not be suppressed for long. The French fans, who appreciate artistry, were quickly enchanted by him. He brought a style of football to the Parc des Princes that they had never seen before. He would produce moments of pure, unadulterated genius that would make the entire stadium gasp in collective wonder. He scored sensational solo goals, delivered impossible assists with the outside of his boot, and humiliated defenders with an array of tricks pulled straight from the futsal court. He was an entertainer first and foremost, and the Parisian crowds loved him for it. One of his most memorable periods at PSG came in the Les Classiques matches against their fierce rivals, Olympique de Marseille. In these high-pressure games, Ronaldinho always delivered his best performances. He seemed to thrive on the big stage, scoring incredible goals both at home and at Marseille's intimidating Stade Vélodrome. He became a hero to the PSG faithful for his ability to dominate their greatest rival. These were the moments that defined his time in France, proving that beneath the carefree exterior was a big-game player who could change the course of a match single-handedly with a moment of inspiration. His 2 seasons in Paris were a crucial learning experience. While he did not win any major trophies with the club, he matured as a player and adapted to the rigors of European football. He proved that his flamboyant style could be effective at the highest level. His dazzling performances did not go unnoticed by the giants of the sport. By the summer of 2003, a bidding war had begun. Manchester United and Barcelona were both desperate to sign him. In the end, he chose the Catalan club, a decision that would not only change his career but would transform the destiny of FC Barcelona forever. When Ronaldinho arrived at FC Barcelona in 2003, the club was in a state of crisis. They had not won a major trophy in 4 years and were living in the shadow of their rivals, Real Madrid, and their team of Galacticos. The mood at the Camp Nou was bleak. The fans were desperate for a hero, for someone to bring back the magic. Ronaldinho was not just a signing. He was a symbol of hope, a promise of a new brighter dawn. His presentation at the stadium drew tens of thousands of cheering supporters. With his infectious smile and confident demeanor, he immediately lifted the spirits of the entire city. His impact was immediate and spectacular. From his very first game, he played with a freedom and creativity that electrified the team and the fans. His debut goal at the Camp Nou is the stuff of legend. In a late-night match against Sevilla, he received the ball in his own half, surged past 2 defenders with blistering pace and power, and then unleashed an unstoppable thunderbolt of a shot from 30 yards out that crashed in off the crossbar. The stadium erupted. It was a goal that announced the arrival of a new king. He was the catalyst that turned a struggling team into title contenders, leading them to a second-place finish in his first season. The following 2 seasons were the pinnacle of his career. Under manager Frank Rijkaard, Ronaldinho led Barcelona to back-to-back La Liga titles in 2005 and 2006, and, most importantly, to the UEFA Champions League trophy in 2006. He was the undisputed best player in the world, winning the FIFA World Player of the Year award in both 2004 and 2005, as well as the prestigious Ballon d'Or in 2005. He was not just winning, he was revolutionizing the way football was played. He mentored a young Lionel Messi, taking the prodigious Argentine under his wing and helping him integrate into the first team, an act of generosity that would shape football for the next decade. Perhaps the most iconic moment of his Barcelona career came in November 2005 at the Santiago Bernabéu, the home of Real Madrid. Ronaldinho delivered one of the greatest individual performances in the history of El Clásico. He scored 2 breathtaking solo goals, each time weaving through the Madrid defense as if they were standing still. After his second goal, something remarkable happened. The Real Madrid fans, the most passionate rivals of Barcelona, rose to their feet and gave him a standing ovation. It was an unprecedented act of sportsmanship, a recognition that they were witnessing a level of genius that transcended club loyalties. He had brought joy back to football, not just for Barcelona, but for everyone. After 5 magical seasons, Ronaldinho's time at Barcelona began to fade. The arrival of Pep Guardiola as manager in 2008 signaled a new era, One focused on intense discipline and collective pressing, and it was decided that Ronaldinho's lifestyle was no longer a fit for the club's new direction. So he departed for Italy, joining AC Milan in a high-profile transfer. He was welcomed in Milan as a superstar, and in his first season, he showed flashes of his old self, linking up well with fellow Brazilians Kaká and Pato. He provided a league-leading number of assists, proving that his vision and creativity were still intact. However, his time in Milan was inconsistent. While he could still produce moments of incredible skill that delighted the San Siro crowd, he struggled to maintain the peak physical condition required in Serie A. His off-field habits continued to be a topic of discussion, and he gradually lost his place as an undisputed starter in the team. He was part of the squad that won the Serie A title in the 2010 to 2011 season, but his role was much smaller. It became clear that his best years in Europe were behind him. In 2011, he made the emotional decision to return home to Brazil, seeking a new challenge and a chance to reignite his passion for the game. He signed for Flamengo, one of Brazil's most popular clubs, and his arrival was met with massive fanfare. Initially, it was a success. He led the team to a state championship and played well, but the old problems soon resurfaced. Disputes over payments and his lifestyle led to a bitter and abrupt departure from the club. Many critics believed his career was over, that he was destined to fade away as another talent who had lost his way. But Ronaldinho had one final, glorious chapter to write. He signed for the underdog club, Atlético Mineiro, a move that would lead to the most remarkable redemption story of his career. At Atlético Mineiro, he found a new sense of purpose. He was the veteran leader of a hungry, talented team. He played with a renewed focus and maturity, combining his natural flair with a genuine sense of responsibility. In 2013, he led the club on an incredible journey to win their first-ever Copa Libertadores, the most prestigious club competition in South America. He was instrumental throughout the tournament, scoring crucial goals and providing magical assists. Lifting that trophy was a deeply emotional moment for him. He had proven his doubters wrong and reclaimed his place as a hero. It was the perfect final act to his elite club career. Ronaldinho's story with the Brazilian national team is a tale of spectacular highs and, great expectations. He was always destined to wear the famous yellow jersey, having represented his country at every youth level. His senior breakthrough came in 1999, but it was at the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Japan and South Korea that he announced himself to the entire planet. He formed a formidable attacking trio, the 3 Rs, alongside Ronaldo and Rivaldo. This was honestly one of the most feared forward lines in football history, a perfect blend of power, intelligence, and sublime skill. They played with a chemistry and joy that, embodied the spirit of Brazilian football. Throughout the tournament, Ronaldinho was a key player, but his most unforgettable moment came in the quarter-final against England. Brazil were trailing 1-0 when he embarked on a mazy run to set up Rivaldo for the equalizer. Then, early in the second half, came the goal that would be debated for years. From a free kick almost 40 yards from goal and wide on the right, he spotted the England goalkeeper, David Seaman, just slightly off his line. Instead of crossing, he struck the ball with incredible dip and swerve, sending it looping over the stranded keeper and into the back of the net. Was it a stroke of genius or a lucky miss hit? Only he knows, but it was a goal that only Ronaldinho would have dared to even attempt. He was controversially sent off later in that same match, which meant he missed the semi-final. However, he returned for the final against Germany, where he played a crucial role in Brazil's 2-0 victory. At just 22 years old, he was a World Cup winner, having reached the pinnacle of international football. He had played a central part in securing Brazil's 5th world title, cementing his place in the nation's rich footballing history. The image of him lifting the trophy, his face beaming with that trademark smile, became an iconic symbol of that triumphant campaign. A celebration of skill, flair, and Samba spirit. His later career with the national team did not quite reach those same heights. He was the star player heading into the 2006 World Cup, but the heavily favored Brazil team underperformed and was knocked out in the quarter-finals. After that, his international appearances became less frequent, although he did captain the team to a bronze medal at the 2008 Olympics. Despite the inconsistencies, his legacy with the is defined by that magical 2002 triumph. He brought an element of unpredictability and pure joy to the team, reminding the world that Brazilian football was, at its heart, an art form meant to entertain and inspire. Ronaldinho's influence extended far beyond the white lines of the football pitch. He became one of the first truly global superstars of the digital age. His style of play was, honestly, perfectly suited for the era of television highlights and the dawn of online video platforms like YouTube. His incredible tricks, audacious goals, and no-look passes were shared millions of times around the world, turning him into a viral sensation. He was the subject of the first YouTube video to ever reach 1 million views, a Nike commercial where he repeatedly volleyed a ball against a crossbar without it touching the ground. This clip captured his essence: playful, skillful, and seemingly capable of making a football do anything he wished. He transcended the sport to become a cultural icon. His signature look, the long flowing hair, the headband, and, most importantly, the ever-present, joyful smile, was recognized everywhere. He brought a sense of fun and happiness to a sport that was becoming increasingly serious and tactical. He played as if he was still a child in the streets of Porto Alegre, and this really resonated with people from all walks of life. He became a global ambassador for Nike, starring in memorable commercials that celebrated creative and joyful football, like the famous Joga Bonito campaign, which he championed alongside other stars. This global appeal made him a marketing dream. He was not just an athlete, he was a brand, a symbol of a positive and entertaining lifestyle. His Shaka sign celebration became his trademark, a gesture of goodwill recognized by fans across the continents. He had a universal language, the language of the smile and the beautiful game. Unlike some superstars who appeared distant or overly serious, Ronaldinho always seemed approachable and happy. He made people feel good just by watching him play, and this emotional connection is a huge part of his enduring popularity. He made football feel less like a business and more like a celebration. Even after leaving the top echelons of European football, his star power did not diminish. He embarked on a journeyman phase late in his career, playing for Querétaro in Mexico and Fluminense in Brazil. In Mexico, he was greeted like a rock star, with thousands of fans flocking to the stadium just to catch a glimpse of the legend. While his physical abilities had declined, his touch and vision remained. He could still produce moments of magic that reminded everyone of his genius. This period demonstrated that his appeal was not just about winning trophies. It was about his personality and the incredible joy he had brought to the game for so many years. Ronaldinho officially announced his retirement from professional football in January 2018, though he had not played a competitive match for a few years. His post-football life has been just as colorful, eventful, and unpredictable as his playing career. He has remained firmly in the public eye, not as a coach or a pundit, but as a global ambassador for football, for his former clubs like Barcelona and for various brands. He travels the world participating in charity matches and legend games, where he can still be seen delighting crowds with his famous tricks and no-look passes, always with that familiar smile on his face. His life off the pitch has not been without its controversies and unusual turns. He has pursued interests in music, releasing songs and appearing in music videos with Brazilian artists. He is a constant presence at carnivals and parties, embracing a life of celebration that seems to be a natural extension of the joy he displayed on the field. In 2020, he made headlines for a much more serious reason when he and his brother were arrested and imprisoned in Paraguay for allegedly using false passports to enter the country. He spent over a month in prison before being placed under house arrest, an episode that showed a more complicated side to his carefree persona. Despite these challenges, his status as a beloved footballing icon remains largely intact. The affection that fans hold for him seems to be unconditional, rooted in the incredible memories he created. He has been involved in various ventures, including launching his own line of wine, an esports team called R10, and even a cryptocurrency. His path is unconventional, mirroring the unpredictable way he played the game. He refuses to follow a traditional post-career script, instead choosing to live life on his own terms, embracing new and sometimes surprising opportunities as they come his way. He continues to be a powerful symbol of. He regularly participates in initiatives aimed at promoting football among young people, encouraging them to play with creativity and freedom. His story serves as an inspiration, a reminder that talent can come from anywhere, and that passion is the most important ingredient for success. He is not just a retired player, he is a living legend, a permanent fixture in football culture whose influence is still felt in the way a new generation of players approaches the game. His journey after football is another chapter in a life lived with flair and unpredictability. When we look back on the career of Ronaldinho Gaúcho, it is easy to list his impressive achievements: a World Cup, a Champions League, 2 La Liga titles, and 2 FIFA World Player of the Year awards. These statistics are a testament to his greatness, but they do not tell the whole story. They cannot capture the essence of what made him so special. Ronaldinho's true legacy is not measured in trophies or goals, but in moments of pure, unadulterated magic. It is measured in the gasps of awe from the crowd, the standing ovation from rival fans, and the millions of children who try to copy his elastico in their backyards. He changed the game by reminding everyone that it was, in fact, a game. In an era of increasing tactical rigidity and athletic pressure, he played with the freedom and happiness of a child. His smile was his most powerful weapon. It disarmed opponents and inspired teammates. It conveyed a simple message: I love what I do. This infectious joy transformed FC Barcelona from a club in despair to the best team in the world. He was the bridge between two eras, mentoring a young Lionel Messi and laying the foundation for the most dominant period in the club's history. His impact was cultural as much as it was tactical. Ronaldinho's influence can be seen today on playgrounds and professional pitches all over the world. He inspired a generation of players, from Neymar to Paul Pogba, to be more expressive and creative. He made it cool to try audacious tricks and to play with flair. He showed that it was possible to be both an entertainer and a winner. He proved that you could reach the pinnacle of the sport without losing the sense of fun that made you fall in love with it in the first place. He was an artist whose medium was of football, and his masterpieces were moments of spontaneous brilliance that could never be replicated. Ultimately, Ronaldinho will be remembered as the magician who made the world smile. He was a player who created an emotional connection with anyone who watched him. He gave fans stories they would tell their grandchildren, moments that transcended the final score. In the long history of football, there have been players who have won more, scored more, and perhaps been more consistent. But few, if any, have brought as much pure, unadulterated happiness to the beautiful game. His legacy is the eternal smile, a timeless reminder that the ultimate purpose of football is, and always should be, joy.